Hello, everybody. Bill back again. This week's vlog is about UI and UX. More specifically, we're going to talk about the user experience. I know user experience is UE, but in our community, it's always been called UX, and UI is correctly user interface. So the best way to understand the difference between user interface and user experience is the car example. So UI would be how good the car looks, and UX would be how great you feel driving it. So once again, UI is how great the car looks. UX is how great you feel driving it. So coming off the heels of the personalization vlog I did last week, let's carry that one step forward and understand that when you design a website, a web page, a blog, a social media profile or post, too often people are concerned with themselves, what message they want to convey, and they remove all cognizance of their audience. The understanding of the audience, the understanding of the user in this case, is really all that matters. So if we're a professional, services professional, healthcare professional, and we want to really cater to our audience, our website, our web pages, our social posts should all be thought of in terms of how is our audience going to perceive this information? How great are they going to feel driving our car? Okay, first, it has to look fantastic. It has to look fantastic in their terms. The font, the colors, the motion, the cleanliness, the simplicity. We do not want to bombard them with information. We want to make everything easy and even simple or calming or delightful. Specifically in the services space where people are learning before they take action, we want to be aware of that. And we want to focus our content on a very calm, a very forthright, a very transparent, lots of integrity, lots of social proof, but really understanding that this could be a fairly big decision for our audience. And we want to make sure that their feeling, their delight, their understanding, and their confidence moving forward is really what we're after here. It's not about so much, hey, what do I know? How much can I tell you? How great am I? It's really, okay, what are your concerns? People make decisions in one of two ways. They're either trying to remove some discomfort or they're trying to provide some comfort. I'm moving away from pain. I'm moving towards pleasure. Every decision we ever make all day long and every day moving forward is all going to be one of those two things: toward pleasure, away from pain; toward comfort, away from discomfort. So we want to make sure that as our audience is making this decision, as our audience is going on this journey, we want to make sure every step of the way is as if they designed it themselves. What are the fonts that they appreciate? How is the layout going to be best for their uses? How do we portray the information? Is it done in text? Is it done in video? Is there motion? Is there the right colors? Is it simple and clean? Is it complex? You know, I've worked on websites before where you've got a lot of nav buttons, you got tons of drop downs, lots of information. And psychologically, what that tells the audience or the viewer or the reader is this is a massive decision. You need to consume a lot of information in order to feel safe moving forward. So what we get is analysis paralysis, and a confused mind always says no. So what we want to do is remove all that confusion and really create a simple, clean cut environment, which is what UX is focused on today. So UI, the user interface, is kind of the aesthetics of a page. UX is the journey through that page, ultimately to a call to action or decision or a behavior. So it's very important that you first understand your audience. Who am I trying to attract? What relationship am I trying to nurture? How do I want to disseminate this information? What does my audience member need to feel in order to move forward? There are tons of psychological cues that we can go on. And UI UX is really the marriage of behavioral psychology and design. If marketing is the marriage of behavioral psychology and math, UX is the marriage of behavioral psychology and design. It's really tapping into the senses, the five senses of vision, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Obviously, on a website where you're not tasting or smelling anything, but there's still visualization that's at the forefront. There's a lot of auditory cues. There's visual cues that we want to tap into, and for a lot of app developers, they focus on touch as well. But ultimately, UI and UX is all about the senses. It's all about behavioral psychology, and it's all about successfully moving people through a journey to where they can make a decision, which is hopefully in line with whatever it is that you need in order to get an opportunity to see or impress upon a prospect, customer, or patient. So today's message is all about UI and UX, user interface versus user experience. And the analogy I use most is the car. UI is how great the car looks. UX is how great you feel driving it. How great do your customers feel driving or occupying your website, your social channels, your emails? We need to be very, very aware of that. And it's an area of focus that we specialize in every day here at Reputation Sensei and Digital Media Nation. I would love nothing more than to have a UI UX conversation with you and your team. Feel free to click the link below to speak with a specialist or book some time with me. This is once again Bill signing off.